Hey guys, Brian from Retread Paintball here again today with a classic vintage marker. This one really takes me back because a lot of my friends had these or similar guns to these when I started playing back in 1989 or so. And this is the PMI Magnum. It is a Benjamin Sheridan gun and design. This is back when guns were brass. So actually, if you look here, where the paint's kind of rubbing from the pump arm, you're seeing real brass underneath, as opposed to aluminum and other metals that are used much more commonly in paintball today. I don't think there's really a whole lot of folks, other than if you buy like a custom Palmer's or something, that are really going to be brass anymore. But it was really nice. You'll see a lot of these guns, people kind of polish them and reveal the brass, and it's beautiful. The gun will look, kind of that gold brass color, almost like this. And I was thinking of doing that on this gun, so that's why I bought that color trigger shoe. But anyway, if you think this gun may look familiar to some other guns, and certainly other Sheridans of this era, you may think that from this part forward that it looks like a PGP, and you'd be right, because the PGP with the tube on the top, or even the Piranha and others that were longer, were in this same kind of configuration and made by the same manufacturer. So this is a later model where it looks like came from the factory with an elbow and a feed as a feed neck, as the guns started to be, and the game started to go more towards either stick feed, larger stick feed, or hopper fed markers. Now this one is a little bit older because there's no auto trigger on it. You may see ones where there's like a couple of levers like this, and when you pump the cocking arm and the pump arm here, that it would rock back and forth to allow you to hold the trigger down and have an auto trigger, which this one does not. This is just one shot, that's it. So at a time. Anyway, this one, great condition. I don't think it's really hardly broke in, to be honest. There's one little divot here on the front where someone looks like dropped it, unfortunately. But other than that, it is very clean, and it says PMI 68 Magnum right here on the barrel. The grips are in good shape. There's no marks here. Does not look like it's been repainted. And I mean, you can see every time I pump it, it's revealing more and more of the brass underneath here, which is really great. This one is a constant air model, and you can see they use just old NPT type threads or components, and routed to a CA adapter in the back. What you'll see on earlier ones, and what we used to do, and my friends used to do, is they used to modify these themselves. They would use a torch and soften up the solder holding their top tube off, remove it, put a feed neck on it, and then do this type of mod to put air out the back, or an air through, or a bottom line. So these stuck around for a long time. They're great guns. They're so solid, and just, I think, beautiful to me. And very, very, I mean, it's amazing that these things last this long, but it's because they were really high quality. This is all metal, this pump arm, and on the Magnum, it's got a pump arm that's like twice as long. You'll see, I've got another video of like a PGP where it's a PGP with an extended barrel, but the pump arm's is nowhere near like this size and this nice. It's like twice as long as a normal one, but it just feels really great in the hand. And these, back in the day, we ran just on CO2, so designed to take a higher output. So I would, if you're going to run air, I would use like a super high pressure regulator, like from Ninja here, or a standard steel tank, which outputs pretty high as well, or just CO2. But you get a little bit more consistency with this. But you see, this airs up with no leaks, and it is going to be loud because there is no porting in these barrels in early paintball. Porting was a a new feature when that came out, and there was a lot of debate. Do we do spiral porting, straight porting, large hole, small hole? And some of that debate still exists today. But anyway, this thing just works really nice. And the guy I got it from said he bought it back in about '89, and that he put it, took it out, fired it, and then put it in his gun safe where it existed only until a few years ago. So that works pretty well, at least with reballs. So anyway, great gun, great survivor. These are fun if you can pick them up. They're inexpensive and maybe a way for you to play pump without paying, $600 or $500 for a really fancy pump. To see if you like it. The grip is kind of a small one. So with big, meaty gorilla hands like mine, it feels very small. They do make bigger Hogue grips that you can still get. These are actually wood, which is really just goes again to showing you the craftsmanship and everything here. I think they're wood. I was pretty sure they were wood from back in the day. But anyway, yeah, you can get these bigger like Hogue style grips, which feel a little bit more comfortable if you have a bigger hand. Another thing is if it has the nicer screws, sometimes they replace these screws. These look like good ones. Otherwise, you feel that when you put your hand on the gun. So this one, there's no issue with that. It feels really nice, and the pump just is incredible. So it's not the smoothest. It's not the smoothest, pump stroke out there, but it could be. And again, this thing. That's why I say this thing feels like it's not even broken in yet. So, and you could, get in there and work on it a little bit more, and maybe see, if you could make it a little bit smoother. But not meant to shoot that fast anyway, and it's just solid, and it's a great little gun, and you get a lot of looks. So people are like, "What the heck is that?" when you take something like this out to the field. So, and a little gravity hopper is all you need, really. All you need is one shot to take somebody out. It only takes one hit, right? So, anyway, it's a great vintage marker. And if you have a chance to pick one up in good condition, I would recommend it. It's fun. Try it out. If you don't like it, you can sell it. You usually get exactly what you pay for on these because they're so old now. But people from back in the day remember them. And again, it's a good way to try out pump if you haven't tried pump. So anyway, that's it from Richard Paintball. Don't forget to subscribe, like us, share our stuff. We do this all for the paintball community. All right, thanks. Bye.